3 Simeonites up in here. You know what the Simeonite is, right? What's that?
That's the tribe down where our brothers come from. There you go. There you go. You know, that's what it is right now. Northern tribe on the rise. Simeon take over.
3 Simeonites take over, fam.
I'm just trying to stay sucker free, cause all of these rappers really, they ain't nothing to me. What they speak, they ain't trying to teach. Just like I hear the same thing every day, every week. You got a million, but your thoughts is weak. You ain't teaching nothing, man, when you up in the street. That's why I laugh at you, turn it into a massacre. Little when we revoking your past back to Africa. You pass a liar, you smoke weed to pass the fire. You niggas sucking on the white man pacifier. All I need is 100 people, don't need a choir. Turn on House of Conscience, BABATV always fire. You talk about your people, then they always stare at ya. This ain't no Roman mother, this America. You say you rep your hood and rep it from the government. Cause every time you kill yourself, I bet they loving it. And Obama never did nothing for my brother's mama. And Hillary, you kidding me, this shit is weak. You niggas sweeter than an Arizona tea. Stay tuned to HOK and BABATV.
Alright, yeah, because we was dialoguing earlier about the diaspora with the 10 tribes going to the Caribbean islands. So he wants to know that if there's enough information, if we have enough information to prove that our forefathers came through the line of Israel when it comes to dealing with the 10 tribes migrating to the western part of the hemisphere and dealing with the Apocrypha and the whole 9 yards and Christopher Columbus. Since he's saying that our people are, been psychologically conditioned, indoctrinated with Catholicism, Christianity, every other denomination you could think of. So I want you to explain to him thoroughly and more, scrutiny of what you know based on what you've done, your research, you know what I'm saying, the information, the times you put in, explaining with dealing with the 10 tribes when they came over here during the time of the, when was it, 568 AD? Something around there. So that's something I wanted to tell him. I know it's going to take a lot of information. It's going to take, you might have to do a video on that so he can understand, because, pretty much he was talking about the Arawak, the Tainos, and the Cascadians that were on that island that were not speaking English.
Understand.
Yeah.
What I was asking him was, I'm not saying that the Bible was right or wrong. That wasn't my contention. What I was saying was, we know that we had Taino, Arawak, and Carib people, and they had a spiritual system. They had a knowledge of self. They had a whole culture before the invasion of the European. And it's like here in America, we got a black belt in Bible, we got a black belt in Quran. We know all these kind of stuff that's readily available. But they made sure that we don't have that knowledge of who we were. Like if I go to my mom, which is Panamanian and Cuban, she know that Bible and that Catholicism, but she don't know nothing about the Arawak and Taino. So how did all of a sudden we line that up when we know that they didn't have a Bible and they had a spiritual system before a Bible? How do we line that up whereas though we saying we Hebrews, where though we can make that Hebraic connection with the Taino and Arawak?
All right, that's an excellent question. And I guess the best way and the most brief way to answer the question is this. What we know about the traditions of the Native Americans, do we know it based on what they say about themselves? Or do we know it based on what scholars tell us that their traditions were? When you do a lot of research and reading, the Native Americans have a lot of traditions that they wrote themselves that the so-called white man found. He found a lot of writings amongst them. He also observed their traditions, and he wrote books about it. One of the most prominent people that wrote a book about the traditions of the Native Americans was James Adair. Okay, he was a so-called white man that went and lived amongst the Native Indian tribes, and he documented the traditions that he observed them doing. And a lot of the traditions that he observed them doing correlate 100% with Hebrew traditions. Everything from the language, to the purification ceremonies, to the dietary law, to the marriage rites, to all those different things, all correlated 100% with the Hebrew writings. In addition, there's many other scholars as well that correlate the same thing. There's also all the archaeology that they find. Do you not know, and you can look this up yourself, that the majority of Hebrew artifacts found outside of the Levant have been found in the Americas? Did you know that?
Yeah.
So there's definitely hard evidence to show a correlation between the people here and the Hebrews. So that's one way of us correlating those things, basically with the hard evidence, because like you said, people are not going to, we shouldn't expect as Israelites, and a lot of people get it misconstrued with us. I shouldn't expect you, not being an Israelite, to just simply accept it because I read it out the Bible.
And have the knowledge.
Right. I shouldn't expect you to accept it just because I'm reading it out the Bible. But what I feel as though is that when I'm also bringing you artifacts that they're finding, when I'm also able to show you all the Hebrew artifacts that have been found in the Americas, it at least begs you to ask the question, why is there so many Hebrew artifacts found amongst these people? Did they have a relationship with the Hebrews? We can't just throw it out the window. But go ahead, brother.
And the reason why I'm saying that, because I'm not discounting that, right? My problem that I have with the community is I watched a lot of debates between Hebrew and Kemetic brothers and Hebrew and other groups. Why don't my Hebrew family bring this information out? Because, and the reason why I'm asking that question, because they teach, like you just had the debate here, and he teaching from a Hebraic teaching, but because we don't know who we are, and Hebrews always on the corner saying you are Hebrew, we don't have the knowledge of self. I've never seen a debate where brothers breaking this stuff down. We can go to the nitty gritty, show the archaeological evidence here of who we were, so now we can put an end to the bullshit. Right. It's like we debating about pointless stuff, we should be debating about how, trying to prove that we are Israelites. You know what I'm saying? Like, we're not, I'm trying to find the right word where, when I said to him, like, you know, my father being so-called African American, my mom being so-called Latino, and I'm saying, wait a minute, these people had knowledge, and then you saying that we can show that these people had that all their spiritual system was in coalition with the Hebraic teachings, right? I've never seen brothers come and debate this, so we can say, listen, fuck all that. This is who your people were. This is who we were, and we was indigenous to this land as people of color too. I think that would, if they was able to show that, that would put an end to everything else. Because what we do know is, when I'm using common sense, we can't say that the Africans taught the world knowledge, right? They gave the first science, mathematics, they built pyramids that can't nobody even do, but they never built a boat to travel. So we know that there was archaeological evidence of early East Africans being here too. So we had people on these lands. The whole European teaching in these schools of this Western land is bullshit. You had people here, right? But we don't talk about none of that stuff though. That's the problem that I'm saying. So I don't like, where I come, I don't debate with my brothers because I don't know everything. So because I don't know everything, how am I come and debate you some shit that I don't even fully know? So I ask the questions, and then I try to spark the conversation. That's what we need to be talking about. Not what the Egyptians did in building pyramids. We need to find archaeological evidence here because we're here, and show how we got here and who we are here. And I think it would put an end to a lot of these debates, in my opinion.
I think one of the issues that I find is that a lot of people basically, and I guess we're all guilty of it, so I'm going to put us all in the boat. Even if we're not all guilty of it, we're just going to put all us in the boat and not point fingers at anybody particularly. What happens with a lot of brothers is that, I said it before when I was up there speaking earlier, a lot of people are so caught up in their paradigm that if I'm coming from a Hebrew paradigm, every word that comes out of my mouth has to be a lie because I'm an Israelite. You don't want to hear it. But I might be bringing some information that's not even just dealing with the Bible. It might be just some historical information I came forward with, I want to bring to the community, but because it's a Hebrew saying it, it can't be true. Or because it's a brother that's from Kemet saying it, it can't be true. We got to put all that aside, and we have to deal with information as it's dispensed. That's why I always tell people, let me tell you something, man. One of my heroes coming up into this knowledge, because I always tell a story, I'm not going to be long-winded. I didn't start off as an Israelite in the conscious community. I tell people that all the time. I started off as a 5%er.
You could be long-winded, I'm learning.
You know what I'm saying? I started off as a 5%er. One of my heroes when I came into this truth was Khalid Muhammad, man, and he is to this day. Okay, and I'm going to tell you something, man. What a lot of brothers and sisters don't know, Khalid used to come into One West and sit in the class.
He said, I'm all my.
Yes, he used to come into One West and sit in the back on Friday nights of Yeshaya's class. That's why when you would see him debating those so-called Jews, where do you think he was getting them scriptures from? He was getting them from the Israelites. He was in class. That's a fact. You could ask anybody that was at the old school, they would tell you, because he didn't have the biases that we have today. He realized that, you know what? I could learn something from them Hebrew brothers, especially when I'm going up against the enemy. You know what? I could learn something from them Hebrew brothers. Guess what? If I was to debate a so-called Egyptologist, you know what I'm going to do? I'm gonna call up Dr. Reggie. Listen, man, I got this white boy that's coming. He want to debate me, man. I'm gonna go and I'm gonna get some, give me some information about. Now I got my own information on Egypt. I've done my own studies, but I realized that that's not my forte. So I'm gonna come to a brother that's more immersed in that information and ask him for information. I'm not, this is what we need to be doing. Right. And a lot of brothers and sisters have a problem with that because, as you just mentioned, right, and as you just mentioned off camera, what's happening is that we become so factionalized now. When now it's like you're not even trying to speak to nobody else that's not in the same mindset as you. All we're doing is banging on each other, and that's it. And we're not building nothing. Right. You see what I'm saying? So I respect you in the way that you, right. So I respect you in the way that you come, that you're going to ask questions. And if you're a teacher, why would you be afraid of a question?
Yeah. Yeah, because like I said, I'm from Philly, and like we hang together. Like we all friends. Like we all can be homies, and he could be a Muslim, you could be, he could be in a nation, I could be a Sunni Muslim, you could be a Hebrew Israelite. Like we might sit on the corner and talk trash every now and then, but we don't, like, I guess up here it's just a little different. Like we don't do that. So it's just like we'll sit down and we'll get books, and we might have little debates on the block, like, but it's never, like men, just amongst men, barbershop talk, but that's about it. So this is like a whole different culture for me. Maybe because I'm in Harlem and this is just the Mecca and they just debate knowledge, and that's just what it is. But I think sometimes being in New York, not being able to see it from outside of New York, it does a disservice to the community at large, because the people don't know that y'all friends and you just debating. They pick sides, and then they see like, if I'm a guy that's, you trying to bring me into the knowledge, first thing I'm gonna say is, y'all, it's like all these different cliques, y'all all reading the same books and y'all can't agree on shit. I'm not coming over to there. See what I'm saying? Because I'm on the outside looking in. That's dangerous when you're trying to wake people up. I got you. And then you see the different sects in Islam. And so for me to tell me, you know what it would tell me? Me being who I am? Because we oppress people, man, my people don't know who the fuck we are. Man, I'm just gonna stand on the side and just watch this sideshow. Because when other groups come here to America from around the world, and they know that you have a freedom of speech here that you don't have in other countries, right? You know how they see us? As a fucking sideshow. That's what they see. Because they have an intact language. They come from a land that they know who they are. They know that we the only people in the world, because you said nobody else treated their people the way that we was treated during this time of slavery. We don't know who we are, so we're like a fucking spectacle, a sideshow to different groups. And because we can't get it together, we do our people more disservice than they do. Because like Sonetta always say, if all y'all reading the same Bible, but y'all can't agree on it, that's something wrong. All y'all reading the same Quran, but you can't agree on it, that right there is telling something wrong with us. It ain't the books, it's something wrong with us. Right. That's all I'm saying. Right.
Well, I just want to be clear about something, though. It's not, when Israelites disagree, we're not disagreeing on who we are. We agree on that. We're disagreeing on our understanding of the text, the interpretation of the text, and some histories. Well, again, it really, it's just like with anything else, man. Even amongst the Kemetic community, you have brothers with differences. You have brothers in the Muslim community with differences and stuff like that. It all depends on your level of understanding.
You're trying to teach the dead.
Right.
On the side, looking at you like, my brother, stay on the block. I don't want to come over here. Y'all can't even get it right.
You know why I come out to these discussions and these debates? Because even though I may have an ideological difference with somebody, I'm going to give you the opportunity to present your case. If you say that you believe such and such and you could prove it, I got to come out to the lecture and hear you and see you and give you opportunity to bring out your information. You see what I'm saying? So what happens, one of the things that happens when brothers be having these intellectual differences is that I'll say something, right? It's different than what you heard. It's different than what you've been conditioned to believe. So automatically you laugh at me and tell me I don't know what I'm talking about. You see what I'm saying? That's what we do. There's a lack of respect for each other's scholarship and information. And I don't believe that Brother Sonetta, I don't believe that Brother Baba will have people on their platforms that are not at least somewhat informed, because they're doing their audience a disservice. So at least give the person presenting an opportunity to bring out the information and then judge it based on the information. But sometimes, again, and this is something that goes on in a lot of communities, but it's really ours. You know what they call it? They call it the cult of personalities. If a person has a certain personality that kind of draws you in, then you kind of go along with whatever they say, whether or not they actually prove what it is that they're saying. So I've personally experienced that in the conscious community myself. You know what I'm saying? I've been ridiculed for certain things that I said, that I taught, but I can back up whatever it is I say. I can back it up. So, you know, that's just one of those, it's just one of those things, man, you know? Go ahead, Dustin. Yeah.
Yo, it's crazy that you're bringing that up, because it's like Danyaahla has said before, that a lot of brothers is on their biased scholarship. They don't want to be objective with the information, because, you know, and it's going on all the time. But, you know, the scripture tells you that, you know, we gotta examine everything. Like I was telling you earlier, you know what I'm saying? How you think the court system operates when it comes to dealing with evidence? You just can't come out of left field and be like, oh, we're presenting this as evidence. We got to examine if that evidence is pseudo or is factual. So that's the way I was telling you earlier when we come with dealing with these debates. We gotta examine if it's pseudo or it's factual. We can't be dealing with emotionalism, sensationalism, and because we want to deal with favoritism because, oh, so-and-so is my favorite teacher here. And that's what I was trying to explain to you, but it's good that you got to talk to Danyaahla because you know he's more of an elder when it comes to dealing with this information and he could tell you more thoroughly with what he knows. But all I'm saying is with me, I'm just a spectator. I don't claim to say that I'm 300, you know, brothers like to be, you know what I'm saying, very, very egotistical. Yeah, I got 360 degree of knowledge. I'm not claiming I got 360 degree of knowledge.
When that happens.
Let me ask.
You get humble real fast.
Because I'll say this for the camera for me. Because the way I see our people and the way we've been conditioned to be outside of our rightful mind, like I said, if I shot somebody in New York City tonight, right, and I went into central booking, and they would do a psych evaluation on me, right? How can I stand trial in court and be in my right state of mind when I don't speak my intact language, I don't have my intact name of my culture, I don't even know who I am? So on the world court in the UN, I would be deemed insane. In the world court, they would look at the African Americans and call us insane because we don't know who we are. We're the only people, so we can't stand in court for anything because we don't have an intact culture, right? That we know of concrete, right? So for me, it's just for me. The reason why I'm not standoffish and arrogant with my people despite their differences, because I'm like this, look, my religion or my spiritual systems is my people, the diaspora. All of y'all are my people, and that's my spiritual system. So I'm whoever I gotta be, wherever I'm at that time to get through to my people. Some people might not like that, but that's the way I see it. Because if I gravitate to one system, it seems like it pulls me apart from this brother. Like we said, so now if I'm over here, I gotta be here, and I can't listen to nothing that you say. I don't deal with none of that. I deal with spirituality, and my people is my people. So I can come around this brother and don't be arrogant. I don't have to agree with everything he say. He's still my brother. You know why he my brother? His ancestors suffered the same affliction as mine. Your ancestors marched the same way mine. That makes you my people. Right. I know that. So now what I was trying to say, if you take an African, right? Even if I do a DNA and I take an African and it comes back African, right? Whereas I don't follow too much DNA, but, right? I'm more connected to you as a Dominican, him as an African American than I would a person from Kenya because we have the same struggle. He doesn't identify with my struggle. We was born out of the diaspora, which makes us the same people. I understand that. So because it makes us the same people, we got all these different ideologies. I don't subscribe to none of that. I subscribe to the diaspora as my people. That's my spiritual system.
Yeah, but you know, go ahead. Yeah, because I was going to say that, since you stated that, Zephaniah 2:1 says, gather yourself together, gather, O nation not desired. So that's really the spirituality that we have to come to the conclusion, because us as a people being oppressed, right? Yeah, exactly. So that's what the Most High wants us to do. But you gotta tap into that spirituality for you to realize that, damn, if these are my people that like you was mentioning earlier, us being in the barrios, in the ghetto, in the projects, that's something that we gotta come to that realization. And us as Israelites, yeah, we realize that in a spiritual aspect that we all one family. So that's why dealing with the archaeology, the information he was telling you earlier, you got to put that all together and come to a conclusion.
From a biblical aspect, but I got conscious enough to see it. Like,
right, exactly. So yeah.
I connect with him before I connect with a person from Uganda.
Right. And that's how you got to look at it, because we got to look at it in a contemporary aspect.
But these are my people. These are the people that, because the Ugandan to see me, and say, brother, you may be African, but you're not my people. Those are your people. I had a brother from Burkina Faso. In the barbershop, I made a video about this on my channel, and he said, brother, you're not my people. And I got offended by it at first, right? He said, but I don't want you to take offense because I don't mean it that way. Right. He said, why would you want to leave this rich history that you come from to be with me when we leave our countries to come be with you and emulate you? He said, you are a people of a nation. Right. And the problem is we know more about you than you know about yourself. That shit hit me in my head like boom. And it let me know. So it let me know, yeah, a lot of us do have African DNA. A lot of us do have indigenous DNA. A lot of us, you know, we go under the term with the, you know, Hebraic terms. But I just look at it, and in the last 500 years or 400 years, we was born out of something. And we are the children. I just see it, we are the children of the diaspora. So I'm going to always identify with y'all before I identify with them.
Right.
That's just common sense, because they come here, they build whole communities, and they don't identify with us. That don't mean that all of them hate us. It's just culture. They identify with their culture. So if I'm in Harlem and I go all the way to California, and when I get around people of color or so-called Latinos, I should never have to feel unsafe, but I do, because we don't know who we are.
Exactly.
Right.
Go ahead, Danyaahla.
That was. I don't have nothing to add to that.
We ain't got nothing to add.
Right, because we don't know who we are, and that's the problem. So when you use the scripture, gather all nations, I received that, I got that. But like, we got to get to a point where we can begin to understand this. Because if I just don't use the Bible, I'm just using common sense.
Sometimes, if I can say, sometimes common sense brings you to the scriptures.
Right.
But because, again, who? He ain't call me. Oh, my bad. All right, bro. No doubt.
Take care.
All right. So that's the Zaryak's back, y'all. Yeah, that's the Zaryak's back on camera. That's the Zaryak's back. All right. Shalom. Peace. Right. So what I was saying is sometimes common sense comes first. Because I don't know anybody that came into the Hebrew faith just off of some scriptures. I don't know too many people like that. Right. Most brothers that I know came in because they heard something else, and the scriptures came later. You know what I'm saying? I mean, you did identify with the Bible, but it was something somebody else said that kind of caught your attention. Somebody spoke about slavery. Somebody spoke about the slave ships, the plantations. Something that they said kind of caught you, and it made sense. It made sense to you, and then they went to a scripture and pulled a scripture out and backed up what they were saying in scripture, and he was like, oh, okay, I didn't even know that was in there, and it kind of drew you more to that, way of life or that particular philosophy, and that's the way it worked for me. You know what I'm saying? And so, yeah, absolutely, we are, and we got to take care of here first, man, because we're in a messed up condition. We know that our people all throughout the diaspora of the world are in a messed up position, but we messed up right here. Right here in this country, we're messed up as a people, man. We're totally gone. We're totally blacked out of our mind. You see what I'm saying? And we need to fix here first, man, on so many levels, on health levels, on economic levels, on so many levels. We need to fix here first before we start worrying about everything else, man. So that's pretty much it for me. King, you got something else?
Yeah, I was going to say, since what you were saying earlier, what brought me into the spiritual calling was actually prophecy. Because that is, that's something that really reeled me in when it came to dealing with coming into this truth. And I think a lot of people don't understand how prophecy works, so they get caught up in like carnal things, and that's why we got to look at things spiritually, and prophecy is really something that our people are going to have to learn. Like, I don't want to say it's the hard way, but they're going to have to learn the hard way when it comes to dealing with how the Bible talks about slavery, going into chattel slavery, you know what I'm saying, our people being last hire first fire. So I think that's what I want to tell the brothers. It's sad that he ain't here, but I want to let him know that when you read the scriptures, the scriptures lay out everything prophetically. So you gotta come, like, I don't know, like you was talking on common sense, man. What more common sense you want from that? The Bible told us that we was gonna get stripped from our nationality, stripped from our language. You know what I'm saying? Another nation was gonna take us and put us in slavery. You know what I'm saying? We was gonna we was gonna be named under every different name under the sun as bywords, as an astonishment. So that right there caught my eye. And then dealing with the book of Revelation and how things is going to come to pass as of not yet, but soon, man, things like that told me, yo, I got to fall in line. I don't care what else is going on. Because, like I was saying earlier, the scripture says, seek your own salvation with fear and trembling. So I'm worrying about, and that's what I look at it when it comes to dealing with this truth, Danyaahla, that, we want to have everlasting life. We don't want to die here when the final judgment comes. So stuff like that, the Most High said that it's a terrible thing to fall in the hands of the Most High. So I always resonate in that. Because, us as brothers, we don't want to die here when things spark off. Because it's about to go, it's going to go down. It's going to burn.
It's going to burn.
Exactly.
And so I know a lot of our brothers want to carve out their own little niche or their own little place here in America, but America's going to burn, man.
Exactly.
According to prophecy, America's going to burn. And Donald Trump might be just the person, man, to burn this place down, man, because that dude is out of his ever-living mind.
Right, exactly.
I got to roll out because I got to get back to it.
Yeah, yo, Danyaahla, no, we had to do this. I appreciate it, man. I love you, King.
All right. Listen, right now, family, do me a favor, right? If you're watching this video and you haven't subscribed to BABATV, something's wrong with you, man. Make sure you hit that subscribe button right now. Not later, right now. Hit that subscribe button, hit that like button, hit that GoFundMe button if there's one, that Patreon, whatever's up there. Make sure y'all hit that and show this brother love and support because he's on the front lines doing this for you. He's giving his time for y'all, so y'all need to show love back. Big up BABATV, much love. Can you add something else or that was it?
Yeah, I see. That's
what's up.
Yeah, you already know. Yo, subscribe to Maccabees TV too, man. That's actually Danyaahla's channel there. So, you know, we got him, Baba. You already know Danyaahla came. We got to build. The brother was here asking. I think Danyaahla was better off, you know, presenting the information to him because, you know, he's more scholarly and he, right, you know, and he's been doing this for years. He's one of the, he's really one of the originals when it comes to dealing in this walk of life, when it comes to dealing with the truth. So, but at the end of the day, man, you know, I'd rather just be more. I'd rather just fall back more and let the brothers, you know, do their thing. Because me, I'm a learner, man. I'm like, you know, I know the scripture tells us that we should be apt to teach, but, you know, I'm more of a learner, and I'm always going to forever learn. That's what I was telling the brother earlier. I'm not trying to be egotistical, acting like I got 360-degree knowledge, wisdom, understanding. But at the end of the day, I'm just a learner. And hopefully, if it's the Most High's will, I could bring it up to a level that I could be like how my elders were and my prior teachers were when I was coming into this truth. So that's about it. But it was lovely, you know. Danyaahla, man, I always looked up to Danyaahla. So it was a pleasure that, you know, Baba was like, yo, hopefully you and Danyaahla could come together and get this and get something together, at least for, you know, experiencing purposes. So, you know, and then we gotta keep continuing doing, you know, dialogues like this, because, you know, Danyaahla, man, is a beast. Like when it comes to with the history. Cause I know y'all told Sarnetta that when they had the rules of engagement before coming on trial, and it's true. Like everyone knows everyone's persona and their position when it comes to what they contribute to the tape. You know, me, I'm more informative. Like, you know what I'm saying? When it comes to me, what I contribute to the table. So it's like I could just spread information and let it be known, and you know, and I'll politic about it. But you know, I know now I gotta be on a level like how these brothers is doing it. They doing lectures, they doing presentations, they doing YouTube videos, you know what I'm saying? And that's something that's needed, and that's what the brother was asking earlier. Like, man, we gotta start dialoguing about crucial questions and information like that. It's not always going at it with each other and debating. So, you know, and I'm with it, always been with it. Like, you know, I'm like I said, we not caught up in bias scholarship here. You know, we objective with everything. Us Hebrew Israelites, we objective with everything. It's just that, you know, we resonate off the offspring of the Most High. We're dealing with the word, and you know, and that's what we're gonna cling on to. We're not gonna try to bash you about how was your upbringing and whatever organization you in. But at the end of the day, it's like what we were saying earlier. If we're gonna apply common sense, we gotta apply logic, reasoning, and rationalization, man. Because you know, you can't claim to have knowledge of self and you can't operate through logic, reason, and rationalization. Like, we gotta understand how we examine information, and then we could come to a conclusion. Yo, does it make sense? It don't make sense, then it is what it is. Like, and that's all I'm trying to say. Like, yo, if it makes sense, then we could roll with it. If it don't make sense, then we can't roll with it. Like, and you know, and I'm just trying to be, you know, objective about what I'm trying to say. Like, and you know, some people out there is just gonna be like that. Like, you know. So I'm not even you know, bent out of shape about it. But at the end of the day, we gotta try, you know, to converse in an intellectual way, man. If we're gonna converse, let's be intellectual. You know what I'm saying? Let's be informative, let's be intellectual, and let's not deal with conjecture, rhetoric, and theories, man. Because our people love dealing with rhetoric, conjectures, and theories, man, when it comes to dealing with this information, Baba. And that's all I'm trying to say. Like, you know, we gotta be factual in what we bring to the table. So all I'm gonna do for here now, Baba, when we start in the future, if the Most High's will, when we start doing, you know what I'm saying, the interviews, man, I'm gonna be objective, intellectual, and logical, reasonable, and rational to the best of my ability, so no one can say that I'm just coming up with a doctrine, or I'm coming up with some type of religion, because your people are quick to come off with that attitude as well. So So I just know me, man, at the end of the day, you claim you got knowledge yourself, so all right, man, then bring it to the table. Let's see what you got. Like, it is what it is. So, you know, that's all I gotta say, Baba, you know? It is.